what's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a video here of the quick, well, not so quick, of a Black Temple run. Going in here for some transmog for my Alliance Warlock, who is on Moonrunner. Goes by the same name as my Horde Lock on Zul'Jin's Sickness. Um, I was playing on him the other day, and I realized I don't have a lot of cool transmog gear for him. Like I have the tier 5, but I want to go in here and get some tier 6 gear. So let's run in here. We're gonna do some Black Temple. Illidan, one of my favorite lore characters. Him, Medivh, Gul'dan, a lot of my favorite lore characters of the game. It's been a while since I've run this. I think the last time I did it was on my priest to get him his T6 transmog. So let's run up through here. Should be a pretty easy raid. Burning rush up this way. Such a big raid too. I believe, do I go to the, yeah, I go to the left. Okay, couldn't remember. A rain of fire there. Pop this water elemental. Another rain of fire. Alright, yeah, here's the first boss. High Warlord Nagentus. Oop, I'm almost dead. Did not see that. I'm paying attention to my burning rush. Key thing for you to remember. Play a Warlock. Remember to turn off your burning rush. Alright, let's make the pull here. Yep, I figured I'd one-shot him with a Chaos Bolt. Oh, look, got a pet Leviathan egg. Nice little axe, Rising Tide. I'd love to get that like on my Warrior, Paladin, Chamois, and Death Knight. So I might want to come back in here for that, for them. Alright. Let's head up to the next area, which I think is this way. Yep. Such a big dungeon here, you have to start off in the sewers. Spent a lot of time here for the Warlock Green Fire quest too, but you come into the main entrance for it. A lot of this has to do with the Dragon Maul clan, who are a clan of orcs, red orcs, who are dragon riders. A lot of lore behind them as well. Next boss is Supremus. It's a huge demon. Look at him, he's freaking humongous. Let's start this fight. Chaos Bolt should knock him down. Yep. When you're hitting him for over almost 2 million, it's a pretty instant death there. So he's so freaking huge. Jeez, look at that. It's a big dude. During Burning Crusade, this was considered almost in-game content until they came out with the Sunwell Plateau, and then that became the in-game content. And the whole story about the Sunwell Plateau is Illidan had his two advisors, who were Lady Vash and Kel'Thas. Well, Kel'Thas kind of betrayed Illidan and went behind his back to kill Jaden, and became partnered with Kil'jaeden, because at the time Kil'jaeden wasn't, and Illidan was not on best terms with Kil'jaeden. He had failed killed Jaden so many times that Kill Jaden was a little irked with him. So you got your Broken here, who used to be Draenei. Talk to Akama. This is a Shade of Akama battle. Basically, we'll go in here. Once he starts to channel, we'll kill these folks right here that are keeping the Shade of Akama chained and handled here. They're called Ash Tongue Channelers. Kill these guys off real quick. Here comes the Shade of Akama. We'll keep the channelers from stopping it. It's basically how this fight starts. Pulls in, you take down the Shade of Akama, which was very easy and quick. I just got stunned. Huh. By what? I do not know. Kama's gonna take back his soul, basically. He's only like half a man, half a broken man. So we're gonna head up here to the next boss. This will make all the ash tone in here will become neutral to us now. So we don't have to worry about fighting them anymore. Basically, we'll take on what's left of the Dragon Maw clan. Whole lore about the red orcs here is the reason why they're red is because they drank fell blood twice. You drink it one time, you become green with and that's just a side effect, but you would have red eyes. You drink it a second time, your skin becomes red. So that's what happens. That's a side effect for the orcs. For the blood elves, I think it is you drink fell blood, their eyes turn green. So Hound Masters here. We'll take them down real quick. Work our way through here. Such a big zone. Infernal will do a lot of killing for me because he's got the massive AoE. And we'll run ahead here to get to the boss. Gorfiend, Terran Gorfiend. First official Death Knight. Different than the Death Knights that we play, because this he is actually a Death Knight by Gul'dan. So I mean, I don't know a whole lot of lore behind it, but I know that he was the first Death Knight officially. Gul'dan's Death Knight. Cal Benevolence. That's not a bad one. Oh, we'll take that. That was Terran Gorfiend. You recognize the name. Gorfiend is part of the one of the warlords of Draenor. Except he was changed up quite a bit for warlords. In this expansion, he was a Death Knight. And there was a quest chain that you would do out here in Shadow Moon Valley, where you would bring him back. and you didn't realize that you were doing the quest for him to bring him back, but in the end, that's what you were doing. So you had finished the quest. You would fight as him. He had death and decay and all that good stuff, and then once you finished, you had brought him back, and now he was in the Black Temple with Illidan. Of course, I think he serves Illidan because Illidan has the. Oh, look, there's a vendor back here. I did not know that. I never knew there was a vendor back here. Um, because Illidan has the head, the skull of Gul'dan, so that's one of the reasons I think that Terran Gorfine serves Illidan. Let's see, so a couple things out of our bags here. Probably just nothing but patterns. That was a neat little trinket. That was back when Destruction Warlock still used corruption. They don't anymore. That's another thing about Burning Crusade. If you played Affliction or Destruction or whatever it may be, you still had um, Corruption and Immolate. You could use Immolate as Affliction back then. So you had a buku of dots to keep up as Affliction, and your filler was not Drained Soul or Malefic Grasp, um, like it was in MOP. Your your actually filler spell was a Shadow Bolt. So as Affliction, you would throw up. So I'm gonna try to remember, see if I remember this right. You would throw up Corruption, Siphon Life, Curse of Agony at the time. Um, you could only use one curse, so whoever was using Curse of Elements was usually a Destruction Warlock, because Curse of Agony was something you got for Affliction. I think you may have it as Destruction too, but usually one Warlock would put up a Curse of Elements or whatever it may be, and then there was a Curse of Shadow. There was, they had different curses, but they all combined it in a Curse of Elements and then got rid of it this expansion. But you would put up Curse of Agony, you would put up Siphon Life, Corruption, Unstable Affliction, Immolate, then you would Shadow Bolt filler, and then through the process of that you would have to keep up with your dots. And back then there was a such thing as dot clipping. So you would actually want to wait for your dot to tick off before you reapplied it. A lot more difficult than it sounds. It really is, because you always wanted to reapply your dots before they fell off. And back then, if you played Affliction, you could spec down. I mean, you could do it as Destruction too. As one of the few specs you would do, you would go into, you spec into your talent tree. You would go down and you would want to spec into Corruption to get instant Corruption, because Corruption actually had a cast time on it, along with Unstable Affliction, which still has a cast time. The only dots back then that did not have a cast time preset default were Curse of Agony and Siphon Life. Oh, this is the next boss here, the Shrine of Lost Souls. Of course, if you've done the green fire quest for Warlocks, this is where you would come and do one of the mini boss fights for it. You had, I think there was 2 boss fights you would do for that run. This was one of them. It was called the Relinquery of Souls. This right here is said to be like a Well of Eternity. There was a lot of power in it. Illidan hid it from the Blood Elves because he knew how obsessed they were with the arcane magics. And really that's what they wanted, was like a Well of Eternity to to quench their thirst for arcane powers. But he hid it from them. They said Kel'Thas found out, and that's why he betrayed Illidan and went to join Kil'jaeden. Because everybody thinks that Illidan's part of the Burning Legion. He was briefly, but he's a master demon hunter. That's his job. He's the betrayer because he betrayed his people by taking waters from the Well of Eternity and, combining himself and becoming part demon. Well, like 80% demon. Well, Illidan actually is a demon hunter. He's not your typical. Oh, there's another boss I can run into over here. He's not with the Burning Legion, and that's why he's probably going to be joining our side at some point during the Legion expansion, and that's why we're going to get demon hunters. Um, that's where a lot of people make a big mistake. They think Illidan is part of the Burning Legion. He is not. He was more of a loner, more or less. I mean, his people are the Night Elves, but he betrayed them, and then they imprisoned him for 10,000 years, and they let him out to help combat the Burning Legion during. I don't want to say it's the War of the Ancients. I want to say it was the Third War. It was during World of Warcraft. I mean, not World of War, but Warcraft 3. So, and the reason why Kil'jaeden is so pissed at Illidan is because Illidan was tasked with destroying the Frozen Throne and the Lich King, and he failed. He had a huge battle with Arthas. Arthas won the fight, won the duel, the first original duel they had. They teamed up briefly, and then they fought again in Northrend, and Illidan lost the fight, and Arthas left him there to die. Well, Kel'Thas and Lady Vashj come and got Illidan, took him here to Outland to run away so he could hide from Kil'jaeden and the Burning Legion, but they found him. So, and Outland was already shattered into pieces from the previous Legion corruption of the Orcs and the Horde, mainly the Orcs, where they basically they're like us on Earth. They zapped the planet of its resources, and they ran out of water and food, so they needed a new continent to go to. So where do they come? Azeroth. They come to a new world. So there's a lot of lore behind Illidan. They kind of mix it up. A lot of people think they messed it up during the Burning Crusade, but I don't know. Illidan's still a lot of people's favorite, one of people's favorite lore characters, and I am super stoked to be seeing him coming back for Legion and seeing the Demon Hunter class added. I actually thought that maybe they would bring that in before Warlords, but they did not. And this area right here, Den of Mortal Delights, the Warlock Green Fire quest, you'll come through here, and actually the imp takes you through here, and you want to collect treasures. And there's treasures in here to collect, or you can just run straight through because it's like a timed event. You got like 8 minutes to get to the end, and you can get to the end and open the big chest before your time runs out. Well, the key is you either collect a bunch of treasures or you don't for that quest. I collected some and then bolted to the end. I did the Green Fire quest twice. I did it on this lock and my Horde lock. So I did it more than one time. And on my Horde lock, I actually collected a bunch of treasures and then turned in my loot at the end to see what I got, and I got some gold. And then I ran through to the end here to kill the boss and get my chest. And I can't remember which one I made more gold off of. Well, here's another boss here, Mother Shiraz. Like, I know a lot of people were like, well, there's a bunch of demons here. Yeah, there are. There's a lot of demons here, and so a lot of people ask, well, if Illidan is not part of the Burning Legion, then why are there demons under him serving him? Well, Illidan had his own demons that served him because he's a demon hunter. They didn't want him to kill him, so they served him. So they pulled away from the Burning Legion. So there were two types of demons. I mean, you had the demons that served the Burning Legion, and the demons that served Illidan. So there's a lot of lore behind that. See, I started playing like full like subscription and everything during the Burning Crusade. So I have a lot of bias toward it. It's probably my favorite expansion out of all of them. I loved the content. I wasn't real into lore then, so I didn't, really understand the lore. But I loved the content, and it was really a good expansion to come in to World of Warcraft with because they added in new features like flying and other stuff, and then expanded some of the talent trees a little bit and some of the classes. Um, and it was still challenging, actually really challenging during Burning Crusade. So I learned to play my class and my characters during a challenging expansion rather than coming in and like, Cataclysm or MOP or Warlords of Draenor where, you know, they're more or less um, catering to the casuals. I mean, I play casual now, casually. I don't play hardcore like I used to. So it's a different story. And I'm fine with the casual thing. A lot of people hate it, but I'm fine with it. I mean, you play a game for 10 years, you're not going to be hardcore the whole 10 years. I mean, it's just not something that happens. I mean, you would literally have to live in mom's basement to do that. Um, but learning to play during such a challenging expansion hones your skills. It really does. I mean, this was a time when you still had to crowd control, and everybody really had to pay attention to what they did. Because if you lost like 3 DPS, 4 DPS, and a 25 man back then, it was over. You're gonna wipe. You don't have enough damage to beat the Berserk timers. All right, well here's the boss. Before Illidan, it's the Illidari Council. You have Gathios the Shatterer, who looks like a paladin. You got Lady Milan, who looks like a mage from back here. You have High Nethromancer Zarever, who looks like a priest. And then Varys Dark Shadow, who I'm going to go out and either say he's a warlock or something else. So let's find out. We're going to take the priest down first. Bam. Alright, well, Lady Milan's actually a priest. And their health pool looks like it is linked. Now, this tier gear that's dropping here is tier 6. Um, Pretty wicked set for a warlock. A lot of people like their tier 6 pieces. I like the priests, and I like the warlocks, and the warriors looks pretty good. The hunters, I was more in favor of. Oh, I gotta wait for a comma. That's right. I was more in favor for the. I think it was a tier 4 on them, on hunters, and then on shaman, I wouldn't know a lot about. I didn't really play a shaman back then. I didn't start playing a shaman until. When did I level my shaman? I think I leveled my shaman in Cataclysm. When I call that the shaman expansion because with being centered around Deathwing and the elements and Thrall, who's a shaman. So we gotta wait for them to open this door for us to get to the top of Black Temple. Plus, there used to be a world boss outside of Black Temple here near the front gates, by the name of Doomwalker, I believe. Never downed him, But he was one of those world bosses that I have been killed by because I'd, fall off the top doing quests or something and land at his feet and he'd kill you. Once he killed you, you had like a 10-minute debuff on you. If you got anywhere near him, you would die instantly. They don't have world bosses like that anymore. I don't know if I'm happy that they don't have that or kind of disappointed. It's hard to say. It's like a bittersweet type thing. I miss the world bosses like that. World bosses nowadays are pushovers, really. Um, we're gonna go up here because we won't pull him if we walk up to him. We have to talk to a comma first. Here he is, Illidan Stormrage, the Betrayer. In his hand is the skull of Gul'dan. This right here, folks, one of the most epic lore characters in all of Warcraft. And I'm so happy to see him coming back for Legion. It's, oh gosh, I just can't tell you how excited I am about that. I've been waiting for Illidan to come back because I knew he was a demon and we didn't kill him in the Nether because he's like 80% demon, 20%, night elf. So with not killing him in the Twisting Nether means that he is still alive. Well, now we know that after you defeat him here, he was actually taken prisoner by Maya's Shadow Song again. So here's the Betrayer, who was betrayed by Kel'Thas, who also, the Betrayer, was betrayed by a comma. It's hard to believe that the Black Temple used to be a holy place, and not so much anymore. We are not prepared, as Illidan says. Takes flight to go into second phase. He's going to pop out 2 fire elementals with his warglaives. He'll throw them into the ground, one on this side and then one on this side. Now back there in Burning Crusade, these are kind of easy now. You had to keep them separated from each other. If you did not, they would do a massive AoE that would kill you. Wipe your raid. So usually you'd have a tank over here to tank one and a tank over here to tank the other, and their group would split their DPS on them. So we'll get him finished off here. I'm going to hit him with a Chaos Bolt. Should just about do him in. Yep, there he goes. He's got us in a shadow prison here. We are stunned. He's actually preparing himself to finish us off, but Maya's Shadow Song shows her face to help us finish off Illidan. She has been, oh man, she's got such a grudge with Illidan, hunting him down for so long, and now he's back and she's going to help us finish him off here. We took him down. But she's right. She is nothing without him because she's been hunting him for so long. That's been her life. She admits it here. And we finish off Illidan. So let's take a look. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? I am on a class that I can't even use this. And I get a freaking Warglaive. That is insane. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. You get a legendary and you can't even use it. I'm gonna tweet that out right now. Let's put it here. Just got this on my Warlock. Fell. Hashtag loot fell. Awesome. I've been trying to get this on my other classes forever, and it drops on my freaking Warlock. So we're going to tweet that out real quick. All right, folks, that is Black Temple. As you see, it's not too hard to run it at level 100. It's got some neat transmog gear to get out of here, some tier gear. Let's see, I got my chest piece, I got my shoulders, and then and my leggings, which I probably never use because I always wear robes anyways. So the next place to get the rest of your tier 6 is actually in Mount Hyjal. So I'll go run and do that in a little while. Won't be doing a vid of it though because I've already done one on my hunter. I'll run Mount Hyjal, hopefully get my gloves and helm to complete my tier 6 set. There was actually, I don't know if they would call it tier 6.5 or extensions to tier 6 that they put in Sunwell Plateau at the end of Burning Crusade, but it was more or less boots, belt, boots, belt, bracers, things like that, another weapon, a dagger. But all right, folks, like I said, that is the full clear of the Black Temple. If you enjoy my videos, please, subscribe, like, comment, maybe on something you'd like to see me do. But also keep an eye out on my Twitter. Follow me at Sickness Gaming, and you can go like my Facebook page, Sickness Gaming. But keep an eye out on my Twitter because that's where my videos will show when I post new videos on YouTube. Plus, I'm doing a Halloween special right now for the month of October. Here in a couple weeks, when the Halloween's End events start on Sunday, the 18th, I will be doing the Headless Horseman events and all that other stuff, and I got Wrath of the Lich King time walking come up, so I'll do some videos of that as well. But I appreciate everybody's support and you watching, and thanks to everybody, and y'all have a good day. Peace.